Hey friends, it is Pastor Sarah here for our 2 Minute Tuesday. It is Tuesday, December 2nd, and this is our first 2 Minute Tuesday in the season of Advent. For folks who were able to worship with us in person this Sunday, you were invited to pick up one of our Advent journals that comes with the worship series we're doing. That's based on the carol, What Child Is This? And if you're on our email list, you also got a digital copy of the journal. So I have my digital copy right here. And for our 2 Minute Tuesdays, I want to highlight some of the reflections in the journal. And each week you're invited to light a candle while you do your prayer practice and your journal practice. So I'm going to be doing that with you as well. I think I'm going to do the prayer that's in the journal every day when I sit down to reflect. So the prayer for this first week is one of hope. And we light this candle of hope. So join me in prayer. I light this candle of hope for those who need it most, for all who search for a place to belong, for all who are frightened by imposing forces, for all whose future seems uncertain. What child is this? This is Christ the King, who reigns with hope forever. Amen. So that is our candle of hope for today. And I want to point you to one of the questions later on in the journal this week and think about it a little bit together. So in worship this past Sunday, we thought about hope, especially as people showing up for one another, and how in times of grief and loss and hard times, we've found hope when people have shown up and been present for us. And that's what we know in Jesus Christ, the hope of the world, as God's presence was enfleshed and born into some really challenging times. The reflection for Friday this week in our Advent journal says this: the barn in which Jesus was born was likely the lower part of a common Bethlehem house where the animals were fed and kept. It might even have been a house of the relatives of Joseph. But the long journey on a donkey from Nazareth could have meant that they arrived at a time when other relatives had already filled all of the sleeping rooms. Rather than an inhospitable situation, it could have been that Joseph's family did the best they could in offering a safer place than the streets for the child to be born. When has someone gone out of their way to provide help for you? I love that question and thinking about what hope is for us, and I invite you to reflect on that as well. From Sunday, we thought about people showing up for us and how that has offered us hope. And today, you're invited to think about the ways that people have gone out of their way to help you. I think there's hope in that too. There is hope in that human connection that we have in each other. There's hope for the world when we reach out to offer assistance and care for each other in whatever ways we can. So think this week about hope, whether or not you use our guided journal for our Advent series this week. Still think about that question. When have people shown up and offered you help? If you want to, you can share that in the comments below. I am grateful today for all those folks who are out there helping with snow removal. It's been a snowy day in central Indiana, and neighbors are out there helping neighbors as we all do the best we can with the conditions that we are facing. I hope you'll join us next week for another 2 Minute Tuesday. It'll be on peace next week. And as always, join us for worship on Sundays at 10 a.m. in person or online. We hope to see you then.